Yeah, I just pressed record.
Okay, I think I did too. So I just started recording. But yes, welcome. And I'm just gonna move on to our small icebreaker that I have here. Let me just pause this real quick. Okay, I'm resuming the recording. Thank you everyone for sharing so far. Um, okay, so let's move on to our first stop. So our first virtual stop is gonna be Oaks College and Rachel Carson College. So we're just going to go over some of the resources that they have. And I just want to note too that after this presentation, we're going to send y'all this really long resource guide we made with clickable links. So like, I know we're going to give y'all a lot of information right now, but you'll be able to have access to it after. And you can always ask us questions as we go or even after the presentation. So the CARE office is located at Oaks College, and the CARE office stands for Campus Advocacy Resource Center, and they're a confidential space to discuss issues of dating violence, sexual assault, and stalking. They're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 4, and their services are completely confidential. So, like, you can go there anytime to talk about the issues that they cover related to sexual assault and violence. And they're not mandated reporters, so they wouldn't have to disclose your information to the police or anybody else. And they also do crisis intervention. They give academic support to survivors and their family members. And they also help you with safety planning, and they manage a lot of cases too. So if you ever need support, you can always feel free to go on their website. And another service that's located here as well is the West Side East Side Writing Center. So they offer tutoring services for scholastic writing, and they also have another location at Crown and Stevenson. Right now, everything is virtual, so you can feel free to also look up their services if you need writing support with any of your academic papers. And we have, of course, Oaks College and Rachel Carson College. So in the pictures, like Oaks College just literally looks like oaks trees. And Rachel Carson is just like, when I looked at the apartments for the first time, I thought they looked kind of like regular quote unquote apartments, because the whole entire campus is pretty unique. Like all the colleges look different and the apartments as well. But I just want to emphasize that for all the colleges and the affiliations, they have their they have college advisors that you can talk to. Um, so yeah, like if you're affiliated with Oaks, they have their own advisors. They have peer mentors. I know they have mentoring programs and resources to help you thrive academically at UCSC. Um, yes, and then for Rachel Carson, if you're affiliated with them, you can go on their website to receive a self-guided tour, and their services are all virtual too, and they primarily focus on giving academic support and advising resources to students. Okay, and then so if you were to go physically on campus and you would drive up, you would go to family student housing. It's really close to Oaks. It's kind of between Oaks and Rachel Carson. And I included some pictures of how it looks here. Um, so in the first picture, this happened last year during winter quarter. There were a lot of strikes, and UCSC is really famous for having a lot of strikes from like their student body, just in order to like enact social change. And I just wanted to like include this to acknowledge that because it was a really big part of our year last year. And yeah, but pretty much family student housing is a location on campus for UCSC students and their families to live. They offer services such as childcare and schooling, and you can apply for that through their website. And they have, I believe, they give like waivers to certain families for that. And I'll link their other resources on the guide that I provide after this. I'm just gonna look at the chat real quick. Um, yes, yes, UCSC is very beautiful. So we tried to include as many pictures as we could so y'all could visualize it. Okay, so if you were to drive up a little bit more, like right across from Rachel Carson is Porter College. So Porter College, it's at the bottom. So what do you call the, is I know there, is it called the squiggle or,
Yeah, the
okay.
squiggle.
So the bottom picture, that's the squiggle. I think a lot of people like to take pictures there. I know I took pictures there the first time I came to UCSC. I was part of EOP Bridge, so I stayed at Porter College for about 2 weeks. I lived there, and the picture of Porter College is the one right above it with the blue sky. I think the architecture of, like, the architect that made Porter College, he built prisons. So honestly, like if you go to Porter, they're kind of like, they have that prison vibe on the outside, but the inside is like really colorful. But yeah, pretty much again, all the colleges give advising support to students. So if you're affiliated with Porter College and Kresge College, there are major advisors, college advisors that can help you receive support with scheduling classes, degree requirements, qualifying for a major, educational support and opportunities. And you can schedule a drop in with them between 9 to 3:30. And also located at Porter College are virtual art exhibitions. I know usually they would have them in person, and I've taken theater classes where they've had us go on field trips to Porter College. I took a Muppets class during my time in undergrad, and they brought like people who made puppets, like really, really big puppets, and they were like giving us a show at Porter. But right now it's virtual, so you can always visit their website to see the virtual exhibits that they have. And yeah, if you were to walk past Porter, you would see Kresge College. So I included two pictures of them as well. So one of them is the one with the mural. Kresge has like really beautiful murals. They also have a physical book library and a food co-op where they sell food books, where they sell food. And their book library includes free books for the community to access. And also, like in person, they have a photo co-op that you can access 24 hours, and a garden co-op as well. And also located at Kresge College is STARS Advising. So STARS provides culturally responsive support to transfer, re-entry, veteran students, as well as students who do not have traditional family support due to experiences in the foster care system with homelessness, abuse, parents who have been incarcerated, or other factors impacting their family life. So they provide support with this through advising, cohort based programs, and through peer advisors. So if you have gone through any of these things, they're trained to help you address them and to talk through talk through these issues and give you holistic advising. And I'll include it in the guide too, but they have a lot of great resources for transfer students specifically. Like they even have a survival guide on their website where they kind of break down um, your experiences at UCSC and how to thrive at the university as a transfer student. Okay, I know I'm giving a lot of information, so thanks for sticking with me. Okay, so next we have the Media Center and the ARC. Um, so this is located near the center of campus, and the Media Center, they're basically the pictures to the bottom left. And this is where the music department is located. Honestly, it's just a great space for you to just like walk to because it has great views, like as y'all can see here with the sky. Like if you go there, you can see the Monterey Bay. So from the UCSC campus, like you can literally go here and just see the outline. Like you can see the ocean and then the rest of the bay. And then just like the sky is really open. And right next to the media center is the EOP Arc Center. So I'm just going to give a brief overview of our resources. So EOP is a resource center that provides academic and personal support programs to improve the retention and academic success of first generation college students from low income and educationally disadvantaged backgrounds. So here at EOP, we provide a lot of support services and programs to our EOP students. So first, we have our EOP academic counselors who provide holistic advising to students to discuss areas where they can grow in academically and personally. And we also have STEM counselors too at EOP. So aside from our academic counselors, we have STEM counselors who focus directly on assisting STEM students and supporting their retention. So you can always make an appointment with them by emailing the front desk at eop@ucsc.edu. Um, and then other programs that we have our administrative receptionists, and they're the ones who can help you with making an appointment and answering any EOP related questions that you have. We have the peer advisors as well, which is me and Lorena. So we can also assist you in learning more about EOP resources. We have undocumented student services, and they provide a set of services to support the graduation and retention of undocumented students. Usually, if we were in person, they would have like snacks to provide to students. And I know we would have like weekly um, food pantries where people could go and like get free, fresh groceries. Um, we also have the textbook lending library. This is a program by application where you can apply to get assistance with class materials and textbooks completely free. And you can visit our website to learn more about the application process. We also have the GIP program, which helps you with understanding how to prepare for post-grad life. The P2R program, if you're interested in pursuing a PhD or learning more about research. Typically, students apply in the winter, and the program is from winter to spring. So if you're interested in applying, our next application round would be next year. And we also have the wellness program, and they provide events to promote physical activity, encourage health and wellness, and build community. Like most recently, since our services are virtual, they had a program where they discussed music and the importance with mental health with CAPS, and they had an AirPods giveaway. I think it happened yesterday. And then we also have the STEM Hub, which Lorena will go over more later on because it's in a different physical location, but it's still part of our resources. And then we have a number of cohort programs as well that are by application only or invitation, such as the Black Men's Initiative program, Bridge, Semilla, and yes, I know that was a lot. We also have LSS, Learning Support Services, located at the ARC, and they provide tutoring services to all UCSC students. I highly recommend that you use the service and take advantage of it, like even if you are getting A's, because it's just a really good way to network with other students, find out about opportunities, and just to receive additional support with your academics. Yeah. Okay, and then right next to the ARC is McHenry Library. So I wanted to include some pictures too to highlight this. At UCSC, we have two libraries. So we have the McHenry Library, and then we have the other library located near Baskin Engineering, which Lorena will go over more. But pretty much right now, it's not open. But typically, when it is open, there are individual study rooms, group study rooms that you can reserve, and there's just like a lot of space to study, but there's still resources that you can access on their website, such as the course reserves. So sometimes professors will like make you buy a book, but if you check the library, sometimes the books are available virtually. So I definitely recommend that you look up all the textbooks that you need through the course reserves just to check if it's on there. Yes. And let me continue on student services, which is also located near the center of campus. Um, so right here we have the Financial Aid Center, the Disability Resource Center, the Dean of Students. So financial aid services are also giving their services virtually, but there's a number of resources that they have on their website that I think y'all should check out. For example, if you're interested in studying abroad, they can give you an estimate about how much that would cost. They typically, I think, also have graduate school fee waivers, and you can always appeal your financial aid package too if you feel like you need more aid or money. I know I did this towards my freshman year, the fall quarter of my freshman year, and they helped me in purchasing a computer, which was, they gave me a grant for it, so it was free. And they have drop-in hours too, so you can always drop in to get help with your FAFSA or your California Dream Act. And right next to, right located in the center is also the Disability Resource Center. I also highly suggest y'all check out this resource, especially if you feel like you need more academic support. So pretty much their goal is to assist the UCSC campus with equal educational access for students with disabilities and to support the retention and graduation of students with disabilities. Even if you don't have a documented disability, you're still welcome to use their resources though. Up to 2 quarters, they can help you with receiving academic accommodations such as getting more time, taking your tests, getting extensions. There's advocates that can work with you to talk more about your situation and like why you feel like you need support, and they'll more than likely assist you with this. But other accommodations such as housing accommodations or like bringing an emotional support animal to campus, those require documented disabilities. So um, yes, but of course the first 2 quarters are, they do let you use these services, so I feel like y'all should take advantage of it. And then we also have the Dean of Students that's located here. They're basically like one of the major organizations within the Division of Student Success, and they have SLIC support services, which are crisis services used to intervene in like students experiencing crises. So they help you with your basic needs. And like right now, I know they have a Slug Tech program where they help students access technology so they can use to support their remote needs. And they just support students in like accessing their basic needs such as housing, um, if they need food or any financial support. They help intervene before this becomes a crisis case. And they also help with CalFresh application assistance. If you are an EOP student, you do typically qualify for CalFresh, and we can provide more support with that if y'all need more assistance with this. But it's a program that can help you receive basically like a credit card, a grant where you can purchase meals and food every month from grocery stores. So yes, feel free to drop any questions in the chat if y'all have any. And before we move on to Lorena's part of the presentation, our last stop for me is the Quarry Plaza. So um, I would say this is probably more of the center of campus where everyone kind of gets together. If you're walking on campus, this is the place where you see the most people gather. And it's where we have a lot of our resource centers located, and where a lot of clubs get together on campus. So some of the resources I want to highlight in this slide are the African American Resource and Cultural Center, the American Indian Resource Center, the Asian American Pacific Islander Resource Center, El Centro, which is a Chicanx Latinx Resource Center, the Lionel Cantus Queer Center, and the Women's Center. So they're all identity-based resources where students can drop in and get community support. They host a number of events. I suggest y'all go on their website to sign up for all of their newsletters too, if you're interested or if you're part of these communities. They often offer mentorship programs or just academic opportunities. I know, like for El Centro, they offer a 2-unit internship where you can volunteer and receive two units of credit during your time. And yeah, so their events are definitely highlighted in their newsletters, so feel free to check them out. And then also located in the Quarry Plaza is their Career Center, which helps students prepare for what to do in the next steps of their life, and helps them just in accessing their relevant career goals. So most of their events are virtual too, but I highly suggest y'all try to meet with a career coach. That's one of the services that they provide. They have a 30-minute drop-in career coach where you can talk to them about your career goals and assess like how your major is like helping you in achieving those goals. I didn't really start using their services until my 4th year at UCSC, and I wish someone would have told me to use their services earlier. But I think it's great if y'all can start meeting with them now, to assess what you can do later on. And like right now, I'm actually taking a class that one of the career coaches is hosting, which is called Crown 185. I believe they have it every winter. So, like next winter, if you're interested in taking this class, it's a 2 unit class about careers and internships, and they kind of give you more information on how to network, how to do informational interviews, how to figure out like what you want to do. So I highly recommend. And yes, other resources that are located in the Quarry Plaza as well are the Student Organization Advising Resources Center, which is called SOAR. So they're dedicated to the success of UCSC campus-wide student organizations, media, and government. So this resource is physical resources where all the clubs are located, and usually they would have like study centers, and you would have access to a microwave there, to water, just to like chill and study. And then at the bottom right is the Quarry Amphitheater. So we would have live concerts. Now they're virtual, and next week they're actually having a virtual concert with Carla Morrison, if y'all want to check that out. So I just want to pause now. Does anybody have any questions? I know that was a lot of information, so I'm sorry. I hope it made sense, but I apologize if it was a little bit fast. Honestly, I was struggling to catch up. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen now. Um, so whenever you're ready, Lorena, you can start sharing and we can continue. Thank you, Liz. She said that all the slides are super resourceful. I appreciate it.
All right, I just need a couple seconds to share my screen. And okay. But yeah, thank you, Yesenia, for leading us through like a big portion of the campus. I'm gonna continue it off with starting out at the Baskin Engineering, kind of like the STEM center of campus. As soon as it loads, let me see. Okay, it's taking a little second, but yeah, all the pictures. Okay, there we go. Present. So, next stop on our tour is going to be the Baskin Engineering Center on campus. It is located down the road from College 9 and 10, and kind of like up the road when you think about it from like Oaks right to Carson Porter. Like it's all on like a horseshoe shape, like the campus, I think. And Baskin Engineering is the home of EOP STEM counselors and the STEM Hub, as well as the Academic Excellence Program. And a little bit about those programs. The STEM Hub offers different kinds of resources for first generation students majoring in STEM programs. They offer peer advising, open Monday to Thursday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. via Zoom. And they're super helpful to provide like information for students by students. And I feel like that kind of connection makes it really easy to ask questions and to get support. And the EOP STEM counselors, you can reach out to them by reaching out first to the EOP administrative receptionist at eop@ucsc.edu, and then they can help you set an appointment there. And the academic excellence program is an application based kind of like a STEM diversity program for UCSC students. It's they really want to help students get acclimated to the university and understanding the kind of resources and support that's out there for majoring in like any math, science, and STEM engineering type of programs. And our next stop is gonna be the Cowell Health Center, CAPS, and SHOP. And think of the Cowell Health Center as like your go-to doctor's office on campus. They take the UC Santa Cruz student health insurance. It's called UC SHIP, and there um, you can get access to kind of like routine medical appointments, same day care, counseling services, nutritional counseling, health promotion programs, and different kinds of laboratory services. And sorry, I should have mentioned that was like when we were in person, but they're still offering like virtual resources now. And hosted within shop, no, sorry, hosted within the Student Health Center is the CAPS program, counseling and psychological services. And they really want to help students to build new skills, how to manage stress, build confidence, resolve problems, and to help be a better student at UCSC by providing mental health services. And they're currently open despite COVID-19, and they offer virtually individual counseling, appointment based groups, and different kinds of like group therapies and workshops. And a program that I want to highlight by CAPS is called Let's Talk, and it's a confidential kind of like drop-in program where you could go and talk to a certified counselor to kind of like talk about everything that's on your mind. And without any like commitment, you could just drop in once and get the help you need. And then if you would continue with the program, or like if you want more help, you can like continue dropping in with them. I think it's a really great way to be introduced to the kind of services that are offered by CAPS. And then lastly, SHOP. It is the Student Health Outreach and Promotion Program. And they are there to support you for all of your party safe, sexual well being, and holistic care needs. They specialize in helping students that are going through drug or alcohol abuse, but also to share information and educate students on how to party safe and how to safely consume like alcohol and drugs and different kinds of recreational fun times. And they offer a wide range of ways to build on your personal and kind of like holistic health. Like, for one example, the health and wellness that they offer, they want to talk about college health and safety, body image, and mental health support. And I think they're a really awesome resource. And the next stop is going to be, oh, it's a little zoomed in. Okay, colleges 9 and 10. They are currently they offer one of the two open dining halls on campus. They're takeout only, but they also are hosting the COVID testing site at the Namaste Lounge. And I feel like I personally know them for their tight knit community. Like, they always, when we were in person, they would always throw really fun events. And I feel like people were super connected there. And they are the host of the COCO. It's called the Co-Curricular Programs. And they offer a variety of ways to volunteer virtually. And that's all outlined in the Google Doc that we're going to share with you all. And again, as all the other colleges we've been talking about, colleges 9 and 10 do offer academic advising with specific college advisors that help you with academic needs, as well as kind of like more behind the scenes information, like how to enroll in classes, how to fix holds on your account, and like different things like that with like housing. And the next stop is gonna be Crown and Merrill College. They are the highest point on campus. Like, both of these are just on the biggest hills ever. Like, it's quite a walk to go, but I feel like it's really nice to get that little like exercise when you're like going to your classes. And if you ever take a class in Merrill and Crown, try not to be late, because if you're late, that means you have to run up the hills, and it's so like it's a rough time. But they are currently the services they're offering now during COVID. They host another COVID testing center on campus, and one of the dining halls is open as well. And a big resource I want to highlight is the Lino Cantu Queer Center. Their social media is currently active, and they promote different events that they want to promote the well-being of their LGBTQIA plus identifying individuals, and I think they're a really awesome resource. And they also Crown and Merrill College also host I think it's really cool. They have a local radio station that like I should have put the number code here, but like sometimes like I live in Seaside, California, and it's close enough where sometimes it'll like come on. It's really cool. And I've seen pictures of like students that are like going through like the records or like the control center. I think it's really cool. And then next stop we have the Stevenson College and Cowell College. Howell College is my affiliation, and I spent my first year here. And I really appreciated the different views that like were provided to us. Like basically, like the whole bay we could see was really nice. And then it was close to kind of like the centers of campus, so I could easily go to the quarry and check out all the different resources there. And Cowell College is the host of the Basic Needs Food Pantry, and I think that's a really awesome space when we were like in person because it's a little zoomed in, but it was a non-transactional cafe where you just swipe in with your student ID and you would be able to get like free coffee and tea, and then like leftover pastries from the dining halls that like students didn't eat, and instead of throwing them away, they would just take them to the cafe, which I thought was really nice. And there's also Stevenson College, which is like the sister college. And Stevenson is home to the Rainbow Theater, which focuses on promoting and centering Black and Indigenous and people of color like storylines and student productions. And they're also the host of the UCSC Bike Library program, which it's like a rental service where you could rent a bike without having to purchase one completely, and it's like on a rental basis where you like take care of it and then you can return it at the end. And I think that's a really awesome resource. And one of the last few stops is going to be OPERS. It is the Office of Physical Education and Recreation and Sports. And when we were in person, this was basically just the campus gym. I feel like it was pretty small given the size of the school, so it was always like very crammed and like all the machines would be taken. But it's also kind of the practice space for a lot of multicultural orgs on campus. Like I'm in the campus for political group, and we would use the room to like practice, and I would see the Taekwondo students practicing over there, and like the students that were in the K-pop dance groups over there. And I think it was a really cool way to like see all the different cultures on campus like represented, as well as like the dance groups and everything. And currently virtually I've listed out, let's see, off the top of my head, I don't know what kind of like services they're offering virtually, but their website is still like promoting different kind of things. And I believe the last stop on our tour is the lower campus. This is sort of like when you're driving through that horseshoe shape of the school. It's gonna be at like the east entrance, I believe. Or like one of the main entrances on campus, and I wanted to highlight the UCSC Women's Center and the Village, which is a residential community. And the Women's Center really works to affirm the dignity and diversity of all women. And it was traditionally a community space for women and their allies. And they want to challenge racism, sexism, heterosexism, ableism, ageism, classism, and other barriers that inhibit women's inclusion and power. And they're very active on social media with hosting different events for togetherness and to build community from different people on campus. And one of the programs I wanted to highlight is the MINT program, which is it stands for Matriculating, Influencing, Networking, and Triumphing. And it's a mentoring program that centers on underrepresented, first generation, low income people of color to be paired with, so those students to be paired with PhD students and to kind of mentor them into what it is to get into graduate school. And then the village is it's a housing community on campus that I'd say is very cool because you get a big single room that is a little bigger than the dorm rooms and for the same price as like a triple with roommates, and you get access to like a kitchen and you can cook and you don't need a meal plan, and they are very connected to the UCSC farm. And one of the programs is the program in community and agroecology. Like when I was at the village, I would see they have meetings and they would be in the garden and they would like talk about different sustainability habits and things. And um, I believe that was the last stop, and that was UCSC in a nutshell. We offer a lot of different programs and resources, and there's constantly events going on like all the time. And we just wanted to share just a little bit with everyone to kind of understand what's out there to support you in your path for college education as a first generation student. So, yeah. And then if anyone has any questions, I went over that really quickly, but please let me know.
Yeah, thank you, Lorena. Please feel free to ask questions or ask us to go back to a slide. I honestly didn't know if we had enough time to fit everything in, so I know I was kind of rushing through my first half. But if y'all need any more clarification, or you're wondering anything about a resource, like I would say we're pretty knowledgeable about the resources, and I feel like I've used a lot of resources at UCSC, so please feel free to ask.
Okay. Oh, actually, maybe I'll just take everyone like really quickly through all of like the sites again. So starting at the beginning, I believe we started with Oaks. So just like a little refresher, we were at Oaks. Oh wait, sorry. Let me see if I can like.
There's a question on the chat. Can you bring a skateboard to campus? I feel like so in terms of like residential halls, they have policies against this because I remember my friends getting in trouble. But I mean, I don't think anybody can stop you if you take a skateboard to campus. To be honest, because I would always see people skating and riding down the hills. Like it can be pretty dangerous because UCSC has like a lot of hills, like really really high hills. I live off campus at UCSC now, so I don't live on the UCSC campus. So I live near the beach and it's a lot lower. But whenever I like drive up to campus, it's a different like climate change because sometimes it won't be foggy down here, but it'll be foggy up there. So that's kind of how hilly it is. So I think it's just up to your own discretion. I would
Yeah.
say it's probably permitted in apartments, but if you're in a residential hall with an RA, yeah, just take precautions.
I also wanted to add, I had a friend my first year that was living at Oaks, and then like it was like fall quarter, and then we had winter break, and then when we came back in winter, she was telling us how she got a skateboard and she was trying it out around Oaks College, and then she fell and like broke her arm. So that's a little bit about what it's like to have a skateboard at UCSC. It's just like you got to be really careful. But I have seen people get caught by like the little campus officers. Like when you want to walk to McKendree Library, there's this really nice like fire road that like all the students take, and you see people on like bikes and things. And I've seen people skateboarding there really fast. And I've seen like yeah, sometimes I'll just be like a patrol officer standing at a little curve, like stopping people on skateboards, and like if they don't get taken away, they just have to like walk and hold them. So that's a little bit more on what it's like to have a skateboard at UCSC. But they do warn about the hills. Like I think that's just the scariest part.
Yeah, and someone's asking, do you see more people biking? I would say yes, there are a lot of bikes at UCSC. I know that like UC Davis is known for bikes. I feel like so is UCSC. A lot of people have bikes, but because there are a lot of bikes, there is a lot of bike theft too. So you really want to lock up your bike well. I know I have friends with bikes and they have like two or three chains, like, blocking up your wheels so they don't take them. But there are a lot of people biking. Again, like be careful. once you do go to UCSC and you have a bike, because the hills can get really speedy, but it's definitely like manageable. There's buses that go up to campus to downtown where you can put your bike, and you can travel that way too if hills are a concern to you.
And there's another resource. I think it was the provided by the so we have a program called TAPS. I think they're called Transportation and P services. Like I forgot what the P stands for, but they're the transportation services on campus. And they have a bike shuttle that would come occasionally. Like they have a really specific schedule that they come way less often than like the campus buses or the shuttles, but they would be like specifically for people with bikes, and then they would just like I think it was to help you move from one place to another. Yeah, that was a really cool thing to see. It was like a yellow bus, and the other buses were like white, so that was fun, like a slug.
Yeah, are there any other questions, like any curiosities too? Um, I know we're all remote now,
Mhm.
but um, I'm glad you all chose UCSC though, to be honest, because it's a really unique campus in terms of the views and where it's located, because it's literally right next to the ocean, but then you're on campus and you're in the forest, and that's, to
Yeah.
me, that's really wild.
And if
Mm,
you keep an eye out for our EOP newsletter and like our email blast, there's constantly events going on from all the different resources that we mentioned in this presentation. Like they're just always happening, always new events. So it's really fun to like keep an eye out and like save ones you're interested in to your calendar and like register when you can to like get the most out of what's being offered. Mhm.
yes. And then Hansel is asking, do y'all recommend places to eat outside of campus? Does anyone have any recommendations? I can think of a few.
Yeah.
Shadi
Okay.
said Sabien. Yeah, it's a Thai food place off campus. Um, it's really good. I know EOP would buy their EOP student staff food from here whenever we had work events, and yeah,
Nice.
it's bomb. I recommend Sesame Korean Grill. It's downtown,
Oh yeah.
and
I have
it
to
just
run
has
there.
really good ramen.
I
And also
think
right next to it, there's this place called Monster Pot, and they sell really good noodles.
oh my god, I love that place so much. It's so good. It's called Monster Pot, and they have like all kinds of things. And then another one that I really like is it's called Home. It's a Korean food place. It's kind of like the way that Chipotle has like you choose your base and then you add your proteins and your veggies. It's like that, but it's like Korean food, and it is so good. Like I think about it all the time, and I wish they had one where I lived. Like sometimes I think about going up just for that. It's really good. It's called HOM. Yeah.
Hey. And then Shadi said, I love sushi. Yeah, I think, didn't they have karaoke there?
Oh.
Yeah. What other places?
And then there's also like Mexican food restaurants.
Mhm.
When we were in person, actually, Merrill College hosted a Mexican restaurant called Viva's, and I thought that was so cool that we actually had a little like Mexican place on campus, and they had basic things like did they have tacos? I don't know, I don't remember, but burritos and like
Yeah.
rice bowls.
Yeah, whenever, okay, well, because events are virtual, we can't eat together as a community, but a lot of events would usually provide food. So I know, like, sometimes people would sign up to go to events, but I mean, you were also getting a meal at the same time, like your lunch or dinner. So they would have a lot of food from Viva's, Mexican food, or just like catering from off-campus locations. I know, like now I'm thinking of other food places too, like L&L Hawaiian Barbecue. Oh my God, that place is really good.
That
They sell
sounds
Hawaiian food. I had some this weekend. And then in terms of like Mexican places off campus, Taqueria Vallarta is pretty good. They sell some really good burritos. But yeah, there's a lot of different options at UCSC, and even on campus too. Like at McHenry, there's what's it called? The cafe. It's a Brazilian cafe. There's one in McHenry, and there's also another location at Porter College. But they sell Brazilian food, and it's really good. Los Pericos is also pretty good. Yeah, that's also downtown. There's a lot of food places downtown.
good.
Yeah, there's a lot of coffee shops. We didn't even talk about that. Yeah.
We should have, yeah. Like almost at every college. Like I could count five probably. Like probably more. I don't know, but it's really
Hmm. At the libraries, like you could like have a student job there. Um,
great.
yeah.
Oh, and then we should have mentioned too, when and if we can go on campus soon. Like the dining halls are a really great place to find a job that's like quick and easy. Like sometimes you even get hired on the spot. Like in my experience, like I just said I was interested in a job, and the manager was like, "All right, you're in," and I was like, "Cool." So the dining hall, the coffee shops, I feel like are a good way to get a barista experience because I know a lot of places are like you need experience, but I feel like maybe the school coffee shops are more friendly with like accepting you like that. And yeah,
Mm.
there's like a lot of opportunities for like jobs when we're in person. I think that's something really great about the school too.
Yeah, it's always a good place to start off, honestly, because you gain a lot of transferable skills. I know my first job at UCSC, I worked at a place called Banana Joe's, which is at Merrill College, because I lived at Merrill College. So it was pretty much like a fast food place, but also a mini grocery store. So I worked there for a few months. And then I took some time off and then I started working at EOP. And that job just really kind of helped me solidify my goals. Um, so it's highly recommended. But like I said, subscribe to the newsletters, like to the resource centers newsletters, or like the Coco newsletters as well too. They always highlight opportunities, and it's just really good because you can still kind of get volunteer experience even if it's virtual, like at different organizations like CARE, like the other resource centers as well.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions?
Okay. So alright, well, thank you for asking all those questions. It's really fun to like talk about campus and things. Always so
Yeah, thank you for taking the time to sign up to our event. We'll follow up with an email. We'll send the slides and the resource guide too, so y'all can take some time, read through it, and just follow the
fun.
links as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good weekend and have a good like 3 day weekend. Take that Monday off to just like rest and relax. We all need it.